The word alav in Pasuk Lamed Vav will provide us with the key as to why the Meraglim died immediately rather than waiting until they reached 60 years of age. But first, some background information. In Gemara Brachot, we find a concept in KATEIGOR, Naaseh SANEIGOR. KATEIGOR, SANEIGOR are the two attorneys, one for the prosecution, one for the defense. In a law situation, we would have a serious conflict of interest where the same lawyer to function and act on behalf of the prosecution and also on behalf of the defense. For this reason, the Gemara states, Ein KATEIGOR Naaseh SANEIGOR. It was because of this conflict of interest that while Moshe could pray on behalf of the nation and was successful in removing the threat of an immediate annihilation, he was prohibited from including the 10 Meraglim in his prayers. The reason for this is that for the people he was a SANEIGOR, pleading on their behalf, whereas with respect to the 10 Meraglim, he was a KATEIGOR. And Ein KATEIGOR Naaseh SANEIGOR, and vice versa. Consequently, God's original plan was allowed to take its course and they died immediately in a Magefa Lifnei Hashem. Moshe's role as a KATEIGOR is established in Pasuk Lamed Vav, where the Pasuk states that the people that Moshe had sent, etc., Vayashivu, who had then returned, and Vayalinu alav et kol ha'eda, and caused the entire congregation, that is the Bnei Israel, to turn on him, died immediately. The emphasis here is the Vayalinu alav, that they turned the entire congregation against him, maintaining that he was unfit to lead the people. As a target of the 10 Meraglim, he then automatically becomes aligned with the prosecution, and Ein KATEIGOR Naaseh SANEIGOR. He could not then plead with God that the original decree be annulled.
And with this we can respond to the three questions raised previously regarding the text. Problem number one was the need from the very outset for Pasuk 36. On the surface at least, it adds nothing to the narrative. It could have been deleted, as the main piece of information is found in Pasuk 37, contrasting the death of the Meraglim to that of the rest of the nation. And in response, the chidush of Pasuk 36 lies in the words Vayashivu Vayalinu alav, in particular the word alav referring to Moshe Rabbeinu. And as the target of the Meraglim was Moshe Rabbeinu's leadership, he became a KATEIGOR. He could not come to God and request that the Meraglim should be spared on the basis of Ein KATEIGOR Naaseh SANEIGOR, and that led into Pasuk 37, that the Meraglim died immediately in a Magefa Lifnei Hashem. Similarly, we can now respond to the second problem, and that is why the target changed. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu talks about the sin of the Meraglim, it is framed as a sin against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Asher he malinim alai, upon me, God. And if that be the case, one may ask, why is it that the narrator in Pasuk 36 mentions a lesser sin of the Meraglim instigating rebellion against Moshe Rabbeinu? Surely the rebellion against God was far more severe, ultimately, than that of the rebellion against Moshe Rabbeinu. Once again, the answer is, had Moshe not been the target, then Moshe, in theory, should have prayed on behalf of the nation, including the Meraglim, with the possible outcome that they would not die in a Magefa Lifnei Hashem. However, now that the Pasuk changed the target, Moshe becomes the KATEIGOR, cannot pray on behalf of the Meraglim, and that justifies their dying in a Magefa on the day of Tisha B'Av. This also justifies that if we have to change the target from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Moshe Rabbeinu, why is it that 36 identifies Moshe Rabbeinu as the target, whereas the original complaint in Pasuk Bet, we have the people complaining against the leadership of both Moshe and Aharon. Vayalinu al Moshe v'yala Aharon kol b'nei Yisrael. The common thread in answering all three questions is that the alav, referring to Moshe Rabbeinu as the target, provided the background to 37 of Vayamutu ha'anashim v'magefa lifnei Hashem, because Moshe as a KATEIGOR could not have prayed on their behalf.